It's Travel Michigan. I'm Dave Lorenz, along with George Zimmerman. And, boss, looks like we're headed to Detroit to find out about the Belle Isle Grand Prix.
Exactly, the Chevrolet Detroit Belle Isle Grand Prix. We're talking to Bud Denker, the chairman of the event, which is coming up in a couple weeks, May 31 through June 2nd. Bud, this has been a great success. It is so great it's back in the city of Detroit. But there's some new things for this year as well, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of new things this year for the Chevrolet Detroit Belle Isle Grand Prix, and most notably, we've got two IndyCar races that weekend. Never been done before. Our guys go through a lot of stress and a lot of mentally and physically for one race for the IndyCar series, but let alone having two races Saturday and Sunday is going to be quite something for the competitors and most importantly for our fans and sponsors. And the best thing about having those two races on Saturday and one on Sunday is that they're both going to be broadcast internationally and nationally on ABC, ESPN, and our city will be shining that weekend.
Wow.
And that's great now, and obviously great for the fans to have, IndyCar racing both days. But so why do that? Why have two Indy races? What's the significance of that?
Well, last year, after we had a few problems on the racetrack, track coming apart, as you remember, on Belle Isle.
Right.
I'm quickly forgetting about that.
Yeah.
You brought it up. You brought it up, not us. I'm just letting you say.
That's right. I quickly committed to a couple of things. I would fix the track, and we've done that now, about $1.8 million of repairs to the road surfaces on Belle Isle. So we committed to that, and that's completed. B, I wanted better racing, more exciting racing for the fans. Very hard to pass on Belle Isle. So we've added an extra half-mile straightaway to the racetrack. We'll have speeds of about 185 miles an hour this year on the track. More passing, more action for the fans. And then the other thing that we wanted is we need, recognition, just like Pure Michigan does a wonderful job across the country advertising the benefits of our state and the virtues of our state. We want to do the same thing for Detroit, and by having those races broadcast 2 days in a row, not just one day, but now 2 days, we get double the amount of coverage.
Yep.
And when we have those overhead shots of Belle Isle and our riverfront, it just glistens, and it's just beautiful. And that's what I want to do, is to show off Detroit, show off our state like you did such a great job, George, and that's part of the reason we're having two races.
Well, and you mentioned the TV coverage and the images, and I will say that there's probably no better shots of Detroit than the ones that happened during this event. I mean, because that shot, looking down the river to the city and the skyline, and you've got the beautiful water, and then the beautiful island itself. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it really is, and I think it shows us in our grandeur and people that come to the island. In fact, last year, 25% of the people that came to the race had never been to Belle Isle before.
Wow.
And another reason, right? Bring people downtown, bring people to our state.
Yep.
Over 10% of the people that will come to the race this year will be from outside our state. And we bring them to us to show them what we have going on. A lot of international visitors as well, too. The hotels will be filled up, the bars, the casinos. It'll just be it's just a buzz that weekend, just alive that weekend. And in fact, another stat, 10% of the people that came to the event hadn't been in downtown Detroit in over 5 years.
Yeah.
So it really shows the opportunity to bring people downtown, and it's all positive. There's nothing bad, nothing gloomy, nothing going on that weekend, but a great race and races and great entertainment on Belle Isle.
Yep. Well, it is so important that people within Michigan, that they, people who are out of the Detroit area, that they get to downtown Detroit and they see that Detroit is not what they sometimes hear in the media
or experienced 25 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And every big city has problems, but Detroit is more than on its way back. I mean, it's really doing some great things, and of course, you at the Chevrolet Detroit Belle Isle Grand Prix are really proving that. With the extension of the track, how long is the course going to be, and how long will these races be?
Well, the track will go from 2.1 miles to 2.4 miles, which is just insignificant regarding the length, really. But the two races will now be 70 laps in length versus 90 laps. So they're a little bit shorter, but there's two of them. But on top of the IndyCar race, we're going to have the World Challenge race again with the Cadillacs and the Ferraris and the Porsches and the BMWs racing twice that weekend. We'll also have the Grand Am race on Saturday. We've got great entertainment, including Brett Michael and a number of acts on our Motor City Casino Hotel stage, and thank goodness we have the support of our partners like State of Michigan and Quicken Loans and Chevy and others that are helping us out, because we couldn't do without them. And it's we plan to have it here for many, many years to come. We're investing on Belle Isle, and the other important ingredient to this is the fact that we're doing this to get back to Belle Isle. It needs help, and it's a great park. And we're here to help support that, and we'll invest millions in the park every year and to help it get better.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And, back to your point, too, about getting people to come down and experience downtown and kind of the role that this race weekend can have in that. I think the other thing, too, is, and we kind of alluded to it, is that people who haven't been to downtown Detroit in a while and perhaps are detractors based on their old experience, that's why it's doubly important they come down here, so that they both experience it and enjoy it. But also then when somebody asks them, like their relatives from out of state or whatever, what it's like, they'll be talking up the new Detroit and what it really is like with all of the improvements being done. So it's great work that you're doing, and Roger Penske as well, and we're just grateful to be part of it.
Well, we appreciate that. It wouldn't be possible, as I mentioned, without our great partners. We'll have down there about 110,000, 120,000 people on Belle Isle that week. They'll love our experience. They're all going to come on via bus, because you can't park on Belle Isle. Got great parking downtown. A lot of buses that we've brought aboard again from many, many states to bring people on board, and we'll make it very convenient for them. And they're going to see a fantastic races and a great experience.
But for people who for many years have been either going to MIS or seeing the great NASCAR races at MIS, maybe they're not familiar with the open wheel type style racing. What are the differences between the IndyCar style racing and NASCAR racing?
Well, NASCAR's got fenders.
Yeah,
yes, they do.
they bump and they bang. And for IndyCar, it's the Indy 500, of course, is the week before our event, which is why we're so proud to coattail off that event the following week. These cars are the fastest cars in the world. They go about 230, 240 mile an hour on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You'll have our NASCAR cars there at Indy, a few months afterwards, going about 190. And it's the true essence of motorsports, IndyCar. They have dual injection cars. They run on ethanol. They're twin turbo. All the things that Chevrolet runs in their production cars, we run in our Indy cars as well too. A little bit faster, of course, but also that weekend you're going to see the Grand Am cars. You're going to see Cadillac CTSVs. You're going to see Camaros. You're going to see Corvettes racing on Belle Isle in the various series. So 3 different racing series, a lot of different races going on, and from 8 in the morning till 7 at night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is nonstop racing. And one more thing also, Friday, once again, is free pre-day. Comerica is making it possible for us to have everybody come down to the island for free to watch practice, watch qualifying, attend, get in the paddock, get in the garage area, all for free on Friday, which is just a great, great, great deal.
That's a great deal, and it's a great way for folks who may not be familiar with this kind of auto racing to sample what it's like and maybe come back on Saturday and Sunday.
Absolutely, and we see that time and time again every year that people do sample it, as you said, George, and come back and enjoy themselves all weekend long.
But only a few seconds left. Any big celebrity drivers that people should be looking for?
Well, we had Patrick Dempsey last year perform, McDreamy, I guess, right? And I'm sure he'll be back again this year. Of course, our drivers, Elio Castroneves and Will Power, and many people know our driver, Elio, as more of a dancer than a driver sometimes. But
and a guest on this program, of course.
Yes.
That's correct. That's correct.
2 claim to fames. All right, well, thank you so much, Bud. Going to be another great race weekend at the Chevrolet Detroit Belle Isle Grand Prix. Can't wait for that. May 31st through June 2nd, the big weekend. You're going to enjoy it, so make sure to get out there. Get your tickets now, though, because they will go fast, as those cars do as well. And that's all the time we have for today.
And
I should mention
their website. Yes, you should.
Which is DetroitGP.com, if you'd like more information. Yeah, I was going to say that. I really
yeah, sure.
But that is all the time we have. So on behalf of George and Michelle back at the office and all of us at Travel Michigan, thanks for joining us today. And Mark Blackwell, thanks for engineering today's program. Invite you to join us next week right here on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at Michigan.org.